results, results, right? So minimum input, maximum output is what I was trying to say. So when you're able to do things in that consistent way, and I was just thinking of, there's a book, The Science of Getting Rich. So it talks about how things have to be done in a certain way in order to get that desired outcome. So that's how I see organizational excellence. And by doing that, putting the humanistic side on top of that, being a mental health therapist as well, right? But putting the humanistic side on top of that is that now when we do things in a certain way, we're creating an environment of excellence. We're creating an environment where people feel like they matter, their voice matters, that they can actually input something and then get that output by way of feedback and not just criticism. And if it is criticism, it's constructive. So being able to provide an environment where people are actually thriving so that they feel that they're attached to the mission of the company. They're attached to that vision, not just I'm helping someone else to build theirs, but I can see my own vision inside of this place that I'm employed, that I feel like I can flourish. So that's kind of my outlook on what organizational excellence is.
Yes, that's awesome. That is exactly um, a good perspective on it. Yes. Would anybody else like to share?
Uh, I agree completely with Dr. Michelle. I would also say that sometimes it is the simplest thing, especially in large organizations. And having gone through Brene Brown's Dare to Lead, I my whole leadership philosophy is clear as kind, and I've completely stolen it from her. But just communicate with your people. Just tell them what's happening. Don't hide stuff. And that can be at the very macro level of the entire organization down to the micro level of the frontline managers and team members. Like, just communicate. And if somebody asks a question and you don't know the answer, then just say, I don't know, let's find out. But really, it's as simple as that. And if you look at a lot of places that have people not happy, it's because they don't know what's happening. And that gets a lot of fear, and that then kills productivity, it kills camaraderie, and it it just doesn't work. So clear as kind, just communicate.
Great. Tony Aiken, I hope I'm saying the last name right, just joined us. I see that she was in the car, but she's a person that's a professional in my local state here, Rhode Island. Courtney, would you like to share?
Um, I don't I don't have much to share that Tina Marie and Dr. Clark already went over because I do agree with that. Honestly, people I feel like you build relationships better when you're transparent, when you're open. And it it's really about thinking about what do you care more about in terms of, and it really goes to show the type of decisions like that are made, like the decisions that anybody makes. You can tell a person from what they do, because people can say anything, but it's like, okay, what are you doing, right? What are you doing to show that? So yeah, transparency and just being open and communicating honestly is one of the one of the best ways to go about that, because it builds trust, and when people trust you, then they want to follow you.
So we're going to go right into the presentation of the organizational model excellence model system. And bear with me 1 minute. I'm just gonna share screen. But first I get it. So I introduced to you the organizational excellence model system by Make a Difference Consulting, which is my firm. Um, the caption says that it is a faith-based principle system for activating and executing organizational excellence. Now, the faith-based part of it, if you're not a faith, you can still use it. It's just that it allows for companies that are faith-based to use it more effectively as well. So it includes um, all perspectives on running organizations, those who are faith-based and those that are not. The core of it, the center of the model system, is the 5 pillars of organizational excellence. I've been in business for going on 5 years, and as such, that is what my promotional work was about. Understanding, helping people to understand what are the 5 pillars of organizational excellence. Why do we need them? How do we apply it to the workplace? So it begins with neuroleadership. Why does it begin with neuroleadership? Because it's the way we think, especially as leaders influencing corporate structure, workplace culture. We need to have positive words, empowering words come out to our teams. You could be team of marketing, but VP of marketing or VP of customer service. But if you're saying to yourself, oh, my people are lazy, they don't want to work, I have to motivate them. That is being conveyed. You may not say those words, but your actions convey what you're thinking. That's why we need neural leadership in the workplace to have positive, empowering triggers, spoken and unspoken, when it comes to being leaders. As far as frontline workers or main staff, being able to say a positive word to your coworkers and receive a positive word from your leadership is huge. I was in a meeting a couple of years back, and the manager said, oh, my people are lazy. I thought to myself, how can you think that of your workers when you need to empower them? Saying you're lazy is just like getting them angry. You don't want that in the workplace. So that's why we start off with neural leadership, to be able to speak and not speak using, non-verbal communication to our teams. Neural management, the management practice of being able to understand how the brain works. That's it's on counterclockwise. It is at 10, 11 o'clock of the model system. And so having neural management as a key of how we run our corporate culture, respecting one another, honoring one another, valuing one another is key to organizational excellence. The second one, which is on the opposite side at 2 o'clock, is authentic appreciation. We all have a way we like to be appreciated. It could be words of affirmation. It could be quality time, acts of service, tangible gifts, or physical touch. But these are all concepts of having authentic appreciation in the workplace. Say you do something, for your company, you want to be appreciated by it, it's just motivational. And because you want to be appreciated, if your appreciation language is a tangible gift, and they just speak a kind word using its words of affirmation, that is hugely missing the mark. And it behooves us to not miss the mark if we want to appreciate colleagues, to appreciate staff, to appreciate leadership. I mean, sometimes leadership feels that, nobody's paying attention to me and why should I continue? Why? Because they want they need that feeling of being appreciated. And so authentic appreciation is huge in the workplace. The fourth pillar, going back under neuromanagement, is workplace forgiveness. How many times have you ever been written up or disciplined in a way that you didn't think it was fair? Has anybody gone through that? Well, whether or not you have gone through that, it happens. And workplace forgiveness is the opportunity to not write somebody up or discipline somebody, because you never know what they've gone through in their lifetime. I have 2 anthologies. The first anthology that I've written supports the workplace forgiveness because it's called The Book on Forgiveness. And you have various authors in this anthology that talks about their experience of forgiveness. It's on Amazon. I probably should have put the link in the chat, but the reason why I bring this up is because I want to support the concept of the workplace forgiveness. Workplace forgiveness is necessary because people want to feel like professionally relaxed within their work environment. They don't want to be like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get written up. No, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Whether somebody has gone through a difficult experience in their upbringing or in their professional lives may have a huge play in what transpired that leadership may find that's a little odd. If you discuss it with the person and give them opportunity to voice their concerns or voice what they've gone through, it can be dealt with. It can be forgiven. That's workplace forgiveness. And the last part, I think as a group, we already announced this one because it has a huge organizational trust, has a huge consideration when it comes to building trust within the environment through transparency. When we talk about what's happening within the company, things don't take you by surprise. You don't feel like, oh my goodness, why did this just happen? Where did it come from? Why is it happening now? You feel we have trust in our environment when organizational trust is present and when the team of leaders are being transparent. I'm not saying you have to air dirty laundry, but at the same time, when we convey respect, when we convey trust in a positive manner within the workplace, that organization trust will hedge off what I call the corporate shift. What is the corporate shift? It is when anything happens to the organization that you did not expect, yet it affects everyone. From frontline to corporates to the C-suite, it affects everyone. And that's why we need organizational trust. So that is the core of called the 5 pillars of organizational excellence. Now, the outer core, the outer rim, I should say, is a combination of 9 different C words, which are necessary to have an innovative, productive work experience. The first one starts off with clarity. Clarity, especially when it comes to leadership, is the ability to see what's going on in the organization How can we make sense of what is going on? And it's part, I would say it's hugely part of organizational trust. When we can present happenings, occurrences in a clearly understood way and convey that transparency to the rest of the team, that is clarity. And then now the number 2 is communication. What's happening in the company? Is it good? Is it negative? Is it empowering? Or is it something that we need to plan to look for a new job because it's detrimental? What's happening and who is responsible to communicate this set of happenings, quote unquote, within the company to the team, to the organization, throughout the organization? That is communication. Collaboration is just working together to be aligned with the mission and vision of the company, but to empower all workers. And it does have a lot to do with participation, engagement, performance, but it needs to be built on clarity and communication so that when we do come to the work experience, you have an opportunity to really understand one another, know each other in a collaborative manner. So we can all, number 2, authentic appreciation language. I think it's number 3, sorry. Achieve that experience of working together in a positive, productive, innovative way. So number 4 is courage. Courage is just the might to speak up when necessary, to complete your assignments, especially when you're new to the organization or new to a specific methodology of completing an assignment. That's the courage that we all need. When we exercise our courage, we're demonstrating that yes, we are engaged, and 2, that we care about ourselves first, and we care about our team. Leadership, from leadership to front lines, everybody needs to have that certain impetus that says, okay, I understand what's going on here. I can achieve it. If you don't understand, then you ask a question. And that involves courage as well. Meaning that, sometimes you're not always going to know something, but if you have courage, you can obtain the necessary knowledge. Credibility. Credibility is something where the onlooker has confidence in the workers of that organization. Sometimes it can be mostly found in the stakeholder, but sometimes it's like the management of another team watching what's going on within the organization and have an understanding, hey, we can depend on them. The information they're giving us is credible. We're working together successfully. We're being not only participatory, but also innovative together. The 6th one is consistency, just doing all 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Clarity, communication, collaboration, courage, and credibility on a consistent basis, on a steadfastness is really the word that it empowers consistency, just being steadfast about it. Sure, there's going to be lulls of not really gaining the experience that you think you should be gaining. But when you activate collaboration, we activate courage, we get clarity in it, it's easier to be consistent in the workplace when you have those working together. The 7th one is commitment, that we are committed to being present in the moment within the company. Yes, we want to plan ahead, especially in the finance department, the accounting department. But as we look at an organization, it's huge to stay committed to the company. Conviction. We have that conviction that we are in a good place and we can understand that we are all participants of the success of the organization. And 9, conscious. Sometimes, yes, I see that it has a balance as an icon, but sometimes there's things that we have to execute within an organization that says, do I have the conscience to deliberate on what they're asking me to do, or do I need to explain to someone that this doesn't sit well with me? That's conscious. So all 9 of those make up the success of an organization. And what I like about this model is once you have it in your possession, you just upload it to the AI of your choice, whether it's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, the myriad of others, and you ask it, you type into the AI block your specific question that helps you to understand what's going on in your specific organization. There's no generalizing here. This is all based on what you are doing within your company to help you gain a better, gain the answers that you need to execute. Like I said, it's activating and executing organizational excellence within the company. Does anybody have questions? So, just reviewing, the 5 pillars provide the structure and the command drivers govern the behavior. So you have the structure, but how do you exercise within that structured frame to get the behavior of organizational excellence? Now, what I like about this is that, people use the phrase employer of choice. What's an employer of choice? It is when an employer exhibits these kind of qualities that they have a standard, and what they do more is to understand their employees and invite them to have a great work experience. It's not just like come to work at 8 o'clock, leave at 5, take that hour lunch on off of your your schedule there, and then you have no communication. You're not able to voice your opinions, your perspectives, your challenges within the company. No, you can't. You have to be able to be an employer of choice. You have to be able to say, look, I understand my people, and because I understand that they are people, not just capital, human capital, or resources for me to use, but actually people who want and need to feel appreciated, authentically appreciated, and motivated in a positive sense to achieve what their goals are in life. Maybe company like CenterPoint. It may be a great established company where the leader is there to greet you, but maybe that's too much for some people. They want to just, maintain like a quiet presence. So they may look elsewhere, or they just might be, so reserved that they can't come out of that, that persona of being shy, quote unquote. So, and you never know in this case, because we don't know what someone has been through in their lifetime, that kind of person may have experienced something so damaging that they need to just be in a place where they can slowly overcome what they've been through. Have a motivational way of dealing with they've gone through, but while having to work, while having to generate an income that they're not necessarily the outgoing type, because not everybody has to be the outgoing type, but you do need to communicate, and that's huge. I wasn't looking at my chat, so I'm not sure if anybody put something in there. Oh, Tony said hi. Okay. All right, so reviewing the 5 pillars of organization, the structure we build is for visionary leadership, strategic alignment. Those 9 command drivers help us to align to your specific company that's attempting to use organizational excellence to actually build longevity and success within the corporate culture. Operational excellence, just being able to not only to consistently execute excellence, culture of excellence, and sustainable impact. These 2 are huge because when we consider organizational excellence in our specific organizations, how we manage, how we interact, how we complete assignments, how we present before stakeholders. These are huge for organizational excellence in order to be an employer of choice. And then conversely, we have the stellar employee. Does that person understand how to allow organizational excellence to be a primary force within the company? Are they communicating well? Are they being consistent? Do they have the courage and consistency? I just said consistent. The consistency to participate in the work culture. All these, this entire organizational excellence model system is really how are we building our work culture? How are we participating within the work culture, and how we helping one another to be inspired to participate in the work culture, So that's why I built it. It was 4 years of doctoral research, but it was a fun journey, and so I'm glad it's complete so I can share it with others. My offer to you is if you wish to learn about more, become a student of the Organizational Excellence Model System. I'm in talks with SHRM, Society of Human Resource Management, so that she can get credit for this, for being for being a student of the Organizational Model System. I am planning classes to begin in the middle of June. I'm thinking I might just want to have an additional September beginning, because it is 6 weeks and I don't want to not see people sweltering because of the heat in the summertime. But it is open to enrolling new students. Because like I said, I just completed it. But the last 4 years I've been researching, talking about the 5 pillars of organizational excellence. And if you want to see my work, just go to shoppingri.com and you'll see several of my written pieces, prose that I have published. I didn't write this month because I was planning for today, but I'll resume my writing for next month. and bring it out more now that it's complete and now that it's unveiled. So, if you want to know more, I can put in the chat my I probably should put that now. My QR code for scheduling. This way you can download it, and anytime you're ready to have a conversation with me, it would be I welcome it. Because this is something that whether or not you're personally employed, it's something to study. It's something to gain experience on, so that when you get into the leadership role or the new position, you've got such a command as a stellar employee that helping them become an employer of choice. That's just going to be awesome. Someone's just joining us now, Nicole. So, if you have any questions, I would love to be able to answer those questions. So let me go ahead and put the QR code into the chat. Hi, Nicole. If you want to download that and just schedule an appointment with me, that'd be great. I am looking for enrolling in students for the program, but I'm also looking for instructors, those who like the program. You can become licensed. Again, you get the SHRM, Society of Human Resources Management credits, but also you're licensed to teach it. And we can discuss that further. So those are my two offers. That if you want to work with me, additionally, I am open, and I would love to talk with you. Can I hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I must have hit my mic when I when I moved. No,
it was good. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to have to set more of these. I don't know. I'm going to call them appointments or whatever, but I really like this.
Yeah. So was this your first one?
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
Yes.
So did you get a lot of interaction?
Yeah, because the way I started up, we just spoke about our backgrounds. We spoke about our anticipations. I tried to set it up that it would be more interactive. I gotta practice that more. But because I know it's looking at the system, it's like all that, but at the same time, it's almost like explaining it. It takes a minute. I think it took me about 15 minutes to really go through the whole thing. But I'll probably feel out my audience and then, share according to what my audience has to say.
I love that for you. Yeah, I'm honestly late because I was hosting a workshop for a master class for someone. So,
okay.
But I'm like, okay. Oh, maybe she's still here. Maybe she's going over the hour. So I thought I'll pop in and see if I can. So that's good. That's great to hear. I love that. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you got the email, but I had sent you that, because when you had submitted to authority code, we were finalizing everything. And
Mhm.
I had to leave the registration open for someone
Oh,
to
yes, I
submit.
saw that email.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, I didn't know if you were interested in authority code. I know you're doing the anthology, and we're doing plot twists. So that's all for authors, right? For
Okay.
authors to share about their book or their book journey. Because we're just
Well,
working to get an author group together so they can get more publicity and connect with the audience.
can
Love
I
it.
show you this? My book, my
No,
two books. This is the
no,
first one, but this one that speaks about the 5 pillars of organizational excellence. I'm actually in another anthology right now called Economy Creators, and so I will
that's
talk
the one
about
with
the
Mary, right?
yes,
I'm in
yes.
that one too, and Mary is
Okay,
collaborating. She's on Plot Twist too. So is Colleen,
okay,
and
okay. Yeah,
she's going to be in the anthology as well.
okay, good. Yeah, so maybe I can do it too, but I gotta generate an income first.
Well, let me know. I did share with you the code, so let me
Hmm.
know if
Okay.
that would work out with you or not.
Mhm.
And then you're always welcome to come in the audience and kind of see what goes on in
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
Because what I'm doing too is for people in Voice Lab. So if they get the membership is at $11 a month. It's getting ready to go up though, monthly. So I
Oh,
haven't decided if it's going to be $50 or $100 yet. It just depends on what I'm adding because I'm working on another level of everything.
okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to
Yeah.
integrate how smoothly it will go. I don't want to make it complicated because I won't do it. And I know other
Hmm.
people won't either. But that's a chance for you to get on the stage. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. I mean, because then your workshop, we can list a master class. We can get on a call about you hosting a master class. We're having people like Frank King, who does TEDx. He's been on stage 14
Yes, I
times,
know Frank King.
right?
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
coming in. I got to meet him in Orlando. He's amazing. We're
Okay.
having on the second, we're having Glenn Friesman, who is a super tech guru,
Mhm.
who created the digital speaker app. And so that's for speakers to get paid. So a person
Okay.
like you that actually has expertise in your field,
Hmm.
that would be something great too. And I can share more information about you with that. So
Okay.
we're having that level of people come in to do master classes. So if
Okay. That's
that's something you
nice.
want, yeah. So if that's something you want to do,
Hmm.
now's the time to come in because you're locked into that price point for now in until the change. Because once that change comes, I'm going to leave everybody that came in on that for
Okay.
right now and just kind of grandfather people in because I'm trying to get people, we're looking to goal is to 200 and I think I have
Right.
about 20 or so
Hmm.
less to get to that. So that will get you on the stage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Um,
interested. I
yeah,
can tell you right now, I'm interested. I'm just,
yeah.
it's only that the 11 or
It's $11
I,
a month. Yeah.
I can
Bless
do
you.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I can email that to you or I can just share it in the chat. But I just want to let you know because there's a lot going on and I know I had to run the last
Right.
time we talked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but
Oh, hold on.
that's
Let me shut
go
off
ahead.
the recording. What's it up here? Let me stop sharing first. And recording. Okay, right here.